Good morning. When do you like to exercise? Daytime? Evening? I think many people like to start their day off, and I can't think of a better way to start the day off than bouncing. Alexa, play. Glad you're here with me today. A lot to go over. Looking at all the benefits that the Cellerciser can do for you. Maybe you notice I removed the performance bar today. I just want you to see the versatility. There's no bar here. Normally there is one here with my cell phone holder. But just thought I'd do something different today. What I'm doing right now is slow down a little bit. This is called a health bounce. And this is what a person may do, as a warm-up, or maybe you have an injury, knee injury, ankle injury, back injury, just something low and slow, not a lot of impact, like zero, because you're not getting any jarring effect on your bone structure, your nervous system. It's quite soothing. It's like a massage going on in every cell of your body. Every time I bounce, right? Each cell is being massaged 100 times per minute, per minute, per minute. Is that incredible? Actually, it is. So, you can move from the health bounce to some more traditional things, right? Jumping jacks. Guess what? When you're lifting your arms like this, you're actually activating the lymph nodes system right around your armpits. And what that is like turning on a switch to help your body better detoxify and removing the waste out of your system. That's the lymphatic fluid's job. One of its primary jobs is to get things moving. Because we usually walk and operate on a straight plane, walking forward, backwards, right? Maybe sitting up and down, but we're not bouncing and activating that lymphatic system. That's exactly what this does. 10 minutes a day. That's it. You got 10 minutes? You got 10 minutes? My goodness, I bet you watch 10 minutes of commercials on any given day. This is such an invigorating option. Your body will thank you for it. More bounce to the ounce. Yep. Hey, check this out. There's an exercise we have where you can lay your 10, 12 pound head backwards, just a little bit like on a tilt, like this. Leaning back. Guess what that does? You'll never guess. It's engaging your neck muscles. So for those of us who might have a double or even a triple chin, it's helping to get it up, right? Get it flat. Give you that structure back. Give you that lean look. Right? That's why I'm doing this. My shoulders are a little tight. I'm sleeping awkwardly on my pillow last night. This is a great way to massage your shoulders. Loosen them up. Got an exercise for those of you who want firmer triceps. Now I'm pushing down on my elbow and I'm pushing up. My left hand is pushing down on my right elbow. My right arm is pushing back, right? That stress, that pushback is what's actually firming up my arm. That's amazing. No barbells, no dumbbells, tearing down the muscles. Gotta do the other side. Right? This is such an amazing and exhilarating release. You know why? How I knew this was going to be different? From the very first moment I started bouncing, the very next day, I had no pain. My son, who's 24 years old, said, he bounced, right? He just came in here and bounced. I'm like, is that the bouncer? Is that the trampoline? What's going on? I was on the other side of the door. So I was so excited, right? This is for all ages, even kids, babies, children. But he was bouncing. And I, of course, was so eager and excited. I asked him when he finished, I said, hey, how'd you like it? How'd you like it? How'd you like it? He's like, Mom, I can't really tell anything for sure until the next day. When I see how sore I am, that's when I'll feel like I've done a great workout. And I told him, guess what? You will not be sore tomorrow. I guarantee you. That's not what this system does. The soreness comes from lactic acid buildup, and it comes from tearing down the muscle. This entire experience builds up your muscle, right? Last thing I'm gonna show you before I come and talk to you about rehydrating is this pounding I'm doing. There's a way to do it, and the reason that I'm doing it is focusing on what this total system wants to entertain. We want the body to understand and to sync with the fact that we're not going against gravity. You know, like when you do a sit-up, you're lying down and you're pulling yourself up against gravity. And when you're doing a dumbbell lift, you're pushing it up against gravity, right? Most exercises, even when you're running, you're pulling yourself up against gravity. Swimming, everything is pulling yourself away from gravity. This bouncer, the full effect comes when you're working with gravity. You're pushing yourself down into gravity. That's what flips the switch, right? That's what activates the stress on your cells, the massaging, the strengthening, the nourishing, the oxygenation. It's the working with gravity that makes the difference, right? So we call this the G-force, the gravitational force. As I'm moving down, hitting. And guess what? If I jump a little bit higher, right, I've just doubled the gravitational force. And we even call this a power jump because I'm getting more strength into gravity. I'm pushing more into gravity. So sometimes when I'm bouncing, I do extra things to make myself heavier, right? Because as I make myself heavier, I push down into the mat pushes me up higher, right? And I'm pushing down, and that gets me to my goals faster. I'm gonna tell you one last thing, which I've been putting off for a minute. The last thing, exercise. This is probably like the #1 exercise for those who are weight conscious. This exercise is called the Jamba Run, J-A-M-B-A, the Jamba Run. This exercise has helped women in a mere 2 to 3 weeks get rid of cellulite. Are you kidding me? 2 to 3 weeks cellulite? Man, modern technology would tell you, oh, you're getting old, it's supposed to be there, just live with it. I'm telling you, you don't have to. So here's the exercise. And understand, you're moving the largest muscles in your body, right, at a rapid pace, and that's what gets the job done. Most people can't do this for 30 seconds. If you do iterations of this, 20, 25, 30 seconds or more over time, you will see some amazing results. So it may take you back to mind when you look at a football practice, a team getting ready, doing their drills. When you see them, they're leaning forward, doing the helmet and the knees and the shoulders and all this, right? But what we have discovered is that leaning forward is actually helping them bear the weight on their knees, right? On their legs, on their thighs. When we do our jumbo run, we don't want to lean forward. We want to be more straight, right? So now you got the weight on your hips and on your thighs this way. So this is what it looks like. It's no joke. Oh my gosh. And if you do this, my goodness, your thighs will be on fire. So it's great to do that. Maybe do this and then do maybe 5 more exercises or so, and then come back and do it again. 5 more exercises, come back, do it again. And here's the deal. Set yourself up for what works for you. You may start off with 5 seconds or 10 seconds. That's okay. It's okay. Just do it. Just get involved, get engaged. Your only record is against yourself, right? So you focus on what you want to get toned. You want to build up your cardiovascular system. You want to be able to run up a flight of stairs without getting winded. You want to have conversations when you're exercising. That's one of my favorite things about the bouncer. I'm a multitasker. So if I can hold a conversation on the phone while I'm bouncing, I call that a W. That's a win. Okay, guys, I'm out. But before I go, I want to take a moment and I want to dismount because I tell you, sometimes he would jump right off of this and jump onto the floor. And when you do that, you actually jar your nervous system. So you want to gently stop bouncing and gently walk into the floor. I got to show you this. So, of course I dropped something, but this is what I do to rehydrate my body. I got to let you see this. Hydration is so important. I think I just worked out for only 15 minutes. I was on here earlier, but in those 15 minutes, I'm losing perspiration. Perspiration is just one of the ways our body dehydrates. It does through talking, right? When you're talking, you're losing moisture. You just go fog up a mirror. You'll see that, it's liquidated on the mirror because when you're speaking, moisture is leaving your mouth. Urinating loses moisture. If you're sick and you're vomiting, other things, but your body loses moisture every single day. So you must rehydrate. And if you're working out, oh my gosh, you have to do almost twice the amount because you must keep your body in balance. You must keep your cells hydrated in a bathed fashion so that they can optimize their functionality. Now, we know that. I'm sure we all know people who have been to the hospital and they go and first thing they have to do is rehydrate them before they can treat them. That's very important. So your cells being in the right position to receive the best nutrition, the best oxygen, right? They can interact and communicate with each other. So this is what I do. This product is called Hydration Drops. I want you to see it up close. This is a Shop Free Mart product. I look at this concept with the Cellerciser and these hydration drops. I call it sip and bounce. Sip and bounce. So what you do with this bottle, this, believe it or not, it was hard for me to believe when I first came aboard. It looks like a dropper, just like this. And you take a dropper full, one, just like an eye drop. You put 6 of these little drops into a gallon of water, right? And so what that does is it changes the structure of the water. And we use distilled water. So now when that water goes into your system, they're now micro size cells that are going into your cells. The water now is so tiny that it actually penetrates your cells, hydrates them, and helps them to cleanse themselves, get rid of the waste in there, and to better receive the oxygen. I know that, we know without oxygen, we're in a world of hurt. So if we're only breathing at this level, we're getting bad air, you see people carrying around oxygen tanks, it's an issue. It's an issue, but if we learn to hydrate our cells so they can receive the oxygen, and guess what? If our cells are hydrated, this may blow your mind, it blew my mind. When your body is properly hydrated, it can alkalize itself. Like you don't have to run around looking for alkaline water. That's like a marketing pitch. Your body knows what it needs, but you gotta hydrate it. once hydrated, it will properly alkalize itself. So I want you to go to my website. You'll see that below, and you can get more information. My whole thing too is educate yourself, right? Don't just listen to me. Educate yourself. Find out about hydration. And guess what? Sometimes all you have to do is look to your left and look to your right, and you'll see people around you who have a big challenge with that. So guess what? I'll leave you with these numbers. So here's the deal. When you were born, you're almost at 100% hydration. All of your cells are properly hydrated like fat, juicy grapes, right? And by the time you get to retirement age, most people's cells have shriveled up, right? And they're at about a 15% hydration rate, from 100% to 15%. So the grapes, fat, juicy grapes, now look like shriveled up raisins. And at 15%, you're definitely on the downside, because at 9%, when your cells are 9% hydrated, that's death. That is death. You literally cannot live with dried up cells. So I'm encouraging you, don't even wait till you get to 15%. Don't wait till you get to retirement age. And if you are there, guess what? It's not too late to start. Just start drinking the right water. Get yourself some hydration drops and watch your body thrive. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. God bless.